Well, Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
You guys came a long way from Willoughby, Ohio, right?
Yeah, right up near Cleveland.
Well, tell us a little bit about Bowden Tactical. I'm with Jim Wiggins, who is as I understand it, the chief honcho genius behind all the engineering, and you make everything happen. You're the answer man, in other words, right?
That's what they say.
Well, tell us a little bit about Bowden Tactical. First of all, you didn't start in the firearms business, did you?
No, we've been a contract manufacturer for 50, 60 years, servicing a plethora of industries throughout the years. Most recently, the last couple of decades, heavily into the firearms industry for the military, making parts for the M60, the M249, the Modus, those different platforms.
So there's no problem doing the work for the military, so you've taken that experience now, as I understand it, and leveraged it towards the retail market.
Yeah, we started several, 6, 7 years ago, making handguards for a bunch of different OEMs, and the market was really up at the time and everything was going good, and then the market went south a little bit, as the gun market tends to do, up and down, and we decided that we were going to get into the OEM market and providing a service for gun manufacturers, gun builders, especially the smaller guys, and helping them get the products that they need, signature look, if you will.
Well, the engineering is marvelous, and what I was explaining to my friends here is just how light this is. Now, folks aren't going to be able to tell this on camera, but this is extraordinarily light. Now, this is just a prototype made out of plastic, right? It's not a real thing.
That's aluminum.
It is amazing. It could be just made, it's featherweight.
Yeah, it's 15 inches and it weighs just over 6 ounces.
15 inches, 6 ounces. Yep. And the tensile strength is amazing.
Yeah, it's very strong. The way the geometry and the shapes interlock with each other and the angles going in different directions gives it that strength that sometimes angles going all in the same direction doesn't give you. You know, this becomes much stronger, even though we've thinned everything out and skeletonized it, you know, is the term that's used. We've skeletonized that, but then the interlocking geometry really adds the strength back to it. So we're able to go very lightweight and still remain very strong.
So Jim, if I'm a manufacturer and I have an idea, well, I want something lightweight or whatever, I don't necessarily have to do all the engineering. From what I understand, Bowden Tactical can do that in a very affordable package.
Yeah, we do. For under a couple $1,000s, we can engineer a complete package out for you, handguard and muzzle brake. You can literally give me a drawing on a cocktail napkin with a pencil, or you can even say, hey, this is my idea and I like this and I like that and I like this and I like that, and we'll sit down with the engineering team, the rest of the guys at the shop, and we'll go back and forth and we'll give you a solid model rendering of what we think your handguard would look like, and we won't go into production on that until you approve the solid model. And in fact, with that engineering fee, you get first piece sample. So we'll actually physically run you a first piece, put it in your hand, and make sure that you like it, make sure that you love it. If you don't love it, how are your customers going to love it? So if we make sure that you like it, you love it, and then we go into production, very low minimums, 50-piece minimums on handguards. 50 pieces.
Now, I don't know much about engineering, but I'd say 50 pieces sounds pretty small for this type of work.
It is. We found that, you know, if you keep the minimum small and you make the customer happy, they're going to come back, and as they grow their business, they're going to continue to come back. And we've had guys that start out, give me 50 pieces, and next thing you know, they're ordering 100 pieces. And you know, this Grendel Hunter out of Wisconsin started with a 100-piece order on his first batch, and you know, he's ordering parts now by the thousands.
By the thousands.
Just a couple years later.
So it's a good way to prototype something, get your idea out there, see how it goes, and if it sells, then you're ready to do the quantity too. You're not just doing the 50 pieces, you're doing the longer runs as well.
Right, we do the larger runs. We have customers that do 50 pieces still at a time. We do have customers that do blanket orders, and you know, we really like doing the blanket orders. It gives the customer the price break, buying in a higher quantity, and they say, I want to order 500, send me 50 a month for the next 10 months, and we'll run that production quantity, put some on the shelf. Customer calls, says, give me my 50. We ship them their 50. Next month, give me my 50. And then when we get down to 100 pieces or less on the shelf, we know it's time to replenish that stock. The customer always has parts, and we always have parts for them to sell to them.
And it's not just about strength and function and speed and cost. It's also about aesthetics. You were showing us earlier that you have a lot of focus on aesthetics, and you've even matched, like for example, your flash hider. Why don't you show our audience what we got there?
So on this handguard, he has a 45-degree slope, and he has slanted geometry that follows that slope. So when we designed his muzzle brake, we took that same idea and we put the same angles, and you can see that, you know, he has a nice, very aesthetic handguard and muzzle brake combination. When the two are put together, it looks really sharp.
Oh, I bet it does.
And you know, this handguard here is the same way, and the muzzle brake has the same geometry cut into it that the handguard does, and it has the same mouth shape so that you get a very fluid look to it.
Well, and that's what consumers are looking for. They want something that looks cool, not only just be functional, but they want it. Well, I guess they're tired of seeing the black box stores. When you see a black gun, they all look the same. They want something just a little bit different.
And that's what, you know, the OEM wants too. You know, there's thousands, if not tens of thousands, of small manufacturers out there making ARs today. And how do you set yourself apart in that sea of gun manufacturers when you do it by your own signature look? Yeah.
Well, Jim, we just scratched the surface here, and I know those people watching our show are going to want to learn more about Bowden Tactical. Where can they go?
They can go to BowdenTactical.com, and there's a section at the bottom that can hook you right to me. There's always a number at the bottom and our address, or you can email. If you're ready to get started, there's a section in there where you can answer some questions about what kind of handguard you want, what kind of quantities you're looking for, and that'll come right to me, and I'll be in contact with you probably that day or the next day.
So if I'm a manufacturer and I have an idea, I can come to you. You guys can do all the engineering and for a nominal fee, and then also make as few as 50 parts for us, and we can get our idea, our new AR-15 out there on the market for a very reasonable price.
Yeah, all in, you know, you're looking at under $5,000–6,000 with the engineering fees, first piece samples, and then your production run.
That's an incredible value. Well, Jim, thanks for being on the show today, and thank you folks for watching GunStuffTV.